over the target in a big way. And the media, you're making it worse.
Elon Musk has zero legal authority to fire government employees or force their resignations. These people don't report to Elon Musk.
This nonsensical email from Elon Musk acting like we're in kindergarten.
It's like an own the libs, make you cry more sort of environment, right? Where both Trump and Musk are performing for the MAGA base.
The new Trump administration is reveling in its bad knuckle approach to governing.
This is so sloppy with the way Elon Musk is handling this.
A former IRS employee right here in Houston, he was one of thousands of federal employees abruptly laid off this week.
And he said,
now, before we get to this gentleman who got laid off, why does the media have anything to say about this? Why is the media running interference for all these people who may get, let's see here, we are little under 3 hours and, 45 minutes from D time. Tick-tock, tick-tick-tick-titty-tock-tock-tock, tick-tock. You got three and a half hours, basically, to get that email in. And you've known about it for quite some time. And you're lamenting, and you're doing kvetching and all kinds of stuff because you're worried about getting this email back. It's not a hard email. A grade school kid could fill out this email, but you can't. For some reason, you can't. Now, what Jen Psaki said doesn't make any sense. Well, Elon has no authority to fire anybody. I don't think Elon said he was the one firing anybody. The email said you could be subject to termination. How did you infer that Elon was going to be the person firing the person, the employee? You're lying. That's why. You're lying once again to your audience. Here's the email. We'll wait for your response. If you got an email like that and you're working, hey, we're doing some different things and we need to confirm something. So if you want to keep your job, you might want to make sure you reply by, tonight at midnight or 11:59. That's a no-brainer. An absolutely no-brainer. And I'm not telling you probably anything you don't already know. The only part you don't know is why would these people be having a problem with this? Gotta wonder.
exclusively with Michelle Choi to share how he's feeling and his message to those in power.
As he waits for an official termination letter to arrive at his front door, Jason Charles shared the toll the last 48 hours has taken on him.
I can't believe this is happening. It happened so fast. Like I said, I was just in training. I waited 4 months to go to training just to be fired.
He's one of 6,000 plus federal employees who work for the Internal Revenue Service fired this week as part of mass layoffs happening under the Trump administration. The majority of those workers, like Charles, were probationary workers employed for less than a year. Charles told us more than 24 employees were laid off from his office here off Gessner. He says it took over a year to get his dream job as a tax-exempt officer dealing with nonprofit organizations and compliance.
I was so excited to learn the job. I was telling my management I was going to be the best.
Is it me? Or have people completely turned into snowflake cupcakes? You're crying because you got fired. Now, I understand maybe he's got children at home. Maybe, his wife, it was his dream job. But I didn't see anybody going to Los Angeles. I didn't see anybody going to North Carolina. I didn't see anybody doing, hit pieces on people who, lost their jobs because of natural catastrophes. Didn't see it. At some point, wait a minute, even most recently as this morning, I heard that Hooters is going bankrupt and may close all their stores. So if Hooters close all their restaurants, there's going to be a lot of people without jobs. And I don't see anyone in the media rushing to Atlanta, I think that's where Hooters is, and telling corporate, you can't do this. You can't file bankruptcy. You need to keep this open because these people need their jobs. There aren't any other restaurants in the country. Yes. So Why is it that this is different? Because you're getting robbed.
They can count on me. And it's not like I have no say so.
Push a little bit harder, dude. If you push a little bit harder, those tears will probably come out.
Try, baby,
Like
try.
it's just toss you away. I thought corporate America was like this, not the government. I thought the government takes care of their people.
Did you hear what he just said?
He thought the government
He goes,
takes care of
I could understand it. I could understand if this was corporate America. You know, if it's just a job. I thought government took care of its people. You're an employee, bro. What do you mean take care of you? You made me want to reach inside the screen and just rip your head off when I heard your big, strong-ass man telling me that the government was going to take care of me. The government was going to take care of me. It wasn't like a corporate job.
Government.
You actually went on television and said those words.
Right.
It's not like a corporate job. This was government. I thought government was going to take care of me.
Like a little bitch.
That's the problem. These people don't look at it as jobs. The entirety, and I'm going to say not entirety, but a big, huge part of the workforce don't look at these things as jobs. It is entitlement. You're supposed to take care of me. It's no different than getting the welfare check twice a month or once a month, whatever you get it. It's no different. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to go to the office, and you don't even want to tell people what you're doing. You just want the check. You just want that direct deposit and just keep it coming because you're supposed to take care of me. What do I got to do? In about 12 minutes, we're going to be talking to a man, a big old black man, bigger than me. I can't wait to ask him, how has daddy government taken care of you? Because that's embarrassing to me. Absolutely embarrassing.
As this message for the president.
Let us work. Let us do what they employed us to do, what we took our oath to do.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked about after getting it.
Okay. So this woman is somehow CNN found her. They brought her on television.
Sent her email back to them.
She's obviously went and got her hair done and her makeup on because this is her big moment. She's going to be on television. She went through all of this with what you're about to hear instead of just answering the damn email. You had to set up the camera, fluff your hair, put on the lipstick, talk to Brianna here, and tell her, what were you feeling when you got the email. Come on, we're talking about adults, not kids. Come on. Yeah.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated.
Why? You 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're on your phone, you're doing something, you got kicked up, and it says, hey, can you send me an email and just tell me what you've done last week? Oh my God, I'm infuriated.
Getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal.
I may have been guilty in my life as a youngster of intimidating, and maybe some people would consider it bullying. I don't think anyone I ever talked to in a bad way would consider sending an email as bullying and intimidating. You got an email, an electronic communication, and you felt intimidated and bullied, is what she said. And Brianna didn't ask her why. Why would you feel bullied and intimidated? Please, do tell us.
Federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit.
Where's your proof?
She garnered all that from an email that says one paragraph. She thinks the fact that she got an email from HR that says, hey, can you just tell me what you've done last week, is a complete business plan for Elon Musk. She solved that. Amazing. You were able to determine that the source of this email was because somebody had an idea on how to make more money. Not my words. That was what she said. That obviously she may have been coached by CNN, but nonetheless, that's what she said on national television.
And that makes me really angry, and my coworkers as well.
Oh, I got an email from Elon Musk, which you didn't know at the time. Let's just be honest. You didn't know it was Elon Musk. It just said HR. And then the news came out and said, hey, Elon's out here sending emails to people and telling them if you don't fill this stuff out, you're going to get fired. Not realizing that whoever sent the email, well, I don't care if it was Big Balls, whoever hit send was doing so at the request of the President of the United States. So you were intimidated and felt bullied and chose not to answer something that you had the opportunity to get in front of the President of the United States. And instead, you went to CNN. Oh, that's just incredible. Well, in case you thought President Trump was backing down, nope. If you don't answer, you're fired. Trump stands behind Musk Doge productivity email, and that was at 5:25 p.m. And of course, you know, the libnuts say stuff like this: government positions and departments are supposed to be confirmed by Congress to be constitutional. Neither Elon Musk nor the Department of Government Efficiency were confirmed, raising serious legal and constitutional questions. Who else is concerned? The big assumption there being that Doge would be firing you. They don't even get it. Here's an outside consultant that's facilitating things for HR. The email didn't say Doge. The email didn't say Elon. The email didn't say Big Boss. Email said HR. So as far as you know, and all you can interpret from this at this point, legally, is that the email came from HR. You can't even make the argument that it came from Elon Musk. You can't. That's going to get you in trouble. Because when it gets to the court system, which it's going to get, they're always going to sue. He's keeping them running around, let them chase their tails, and here they go again. But what you haven't discussed is the millions who just won't answer. And so the real reason why they're not answering is because Democrat politicians have told them, don't answer, because we need to cover the other grift. You know, if they can't tell who's real and who's not, then you can't get fired. You think so? Because if I'm whoever, Elon, whoever right now, I don't need you to reply. The fact that you opened it put you on an okay list for now. You see, none of these people would know that they got an email unless they opened the email. And so whoever didn't even open the email, those are going to be the primaries. Those are going to be the people who are going to be easy to take a look at. Okay, what do we got? You got a report? Give me the report on everybody who didn't even open the email. And that's going to be the starting point for all of this stuff. And then they'll find a whole lot of rats in that trap. A whole lot. Rick Scott, Senator Rick Scott from down here in Florida. Cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, or asking employees to share their accomplishments shouldn't be controversial. I'm struggling to find out how you can consider it to be controversial to even ask an employee. Remember, they are employees. They work for you. You pay their salaries. And they're saying, basically with the middle finger, we don't got to do nothing. Just take care of me, cash my checks. So I see that Zeke is in the waiting room, so let me run this from Lear Capital, and I'll be right back. As you know, aware of who he is, this is his handle, Zeke Arkham, Z-E-E-K Arkham, the notorious CWA. His pronouns are bruh and brother. Social media flamethrower, professional roaster, conservatarian, back the blue, all lives matter. With that being said, welcome, Zeke. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thanks for having me on.
All right, brother. I've got your sound in and everything. So before we begin, tell us a little bit about yourself and what is the notorious CWA? I'd love to know what that means.
CWA, cop with attitude. That means I tell it how it is. If you get butthurt easily, I can't help that. The truth is never easy. The truth sometimes hurts. So I always say I'm a professional an internet flamethrower, which means that I will roast you if you say something dumb to me. I'll tell you how it is. I'll shoot it straight with you. And, and as my grandmother used to say, no one ever died from hurt feelings. So I get out there, I say what I got to say.
So are you or were you a police officer?
I have 18 years of law enforcement experience, yes.
Okay. Are you still currently in serving?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Where? Are you not allowed to say?
I am not allowed to say.
Okay. I understand. So this is going to be a quite unconventional interview with you because it's very seldom that I get to talk to other people of color, if you know what I mean. So I just wondered, how long have you been black? I say that because I've also often talked to my family and friends and some former friends, and when they found out I was a conservative, it kind of began to shun me. So I'm wondering what you've gone through, and have you, I guess put it this way, when did you become a Republican?
I'm actually not a Republican. I'm a registered independent. But, if we're going to be honest, I don't see myself ever voting Democrat ever again.
Right.
It would have to be the unicorn of Democrats who poops rainbows and says all the right things and does all the right things. I mean, there is, I'm in New York, and there is a Democrat in New York who really is a Republican, but he's a Democrat. He would be, I guess, their version of a rhino. I guess he's a dino, Democrat in name only.
Right.
But, I don't see myself ever voting Democrat ever again. As far as my family goes, honestly, I have some family who don't talk to me anymore just because they are shackled to the Democrat plantation. And, I've got my father's whole side of the family. Most of them are criminals and perps anyway, so I can't really talk to them being law enforcement. I can't hang out with felons, and that's how I usually get out of, the Thanksgiving dinners and the Christmas roast at their house. Hey, listen, Cousin Andre or Susan, they got some felonies. I can't do it. So that's how I get out of that. But for the most part, most of my family understands once I start talking to them, once they have that ear to listen. They kind of get on my side. My mom was a lifelong Democrat, and after I started asking her some tough questions, she's now, she's not fully on the Trump train. She still listens to a lot of the news and still listens to a lot of propaganda. But once I calm her down a little bit, she's back on. So for the most part, my family's been really cool about it. I mean, I got brothers who, they're still shackled to the Democrat plantation, and we just kind of agree to disagree on it. That's all.
What was it that got you unshackled?
It was a bunch of things. When I got into law enforcement, I was actually against cops. I didn't really think cops were trustworthy. And I got in, and I was going to blow the entire system up from the inside out. But once I started talking to cops and started seeing that they're human beings, that was one red pill moment. I had, a couple other red pill moments where, once you're confronted with the truth, you're confronted with what really happens, unless you're deaf, dumb, and blind, or just willingly ignorant, you can't, you have to accept the truth about what goes on. So I started just doing research. I started just looking into everything. I started looking into statistics. I started looking into facts. I did my own research, is what I tell everybody to do. And I red pilled myself. I was all set to be like, aha, here's the truth. The Democrats, the liberals, the leftists, here's the truth. But I wound up red pilling myself. And when you're confronted with facts, you can either run away from it or you can accept it. And I chose to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically been the same with me as well. I grew up up north, as well. I grew up in Connecticut, and I was surrounded by Democrats. And all of a sudden, I was the kind of weird kid. I was listening to rock music. I went to a prep school, and my exposure allowed me to see some things that my family and some of my friends couldn't see. And then, of course, when I got to college, and then coming out of college and everything, the older you get, it just seems like the more you begin doing your own research and understanding what's going on. So you just went to, number one, how did you get invited? Because I'm jealous. I'm extremely jealous. How did you get invited to the Black History Month celebration at the White House, and how was that?
I got a random DM from a friend that just said, hey, listen, I'm getting some names, some emails for the White House Black History Month event. Give me your email address. So I sent it, and I said, I don't know what's going to happen. And I got excited about it at first. I was like, the White House, I've never been there. I got plans, tell work, I got to take a couple days off. And then it was supposed to be that Wednesday. I saw people posting their invitations. It was supposed to be that Wednesday. It was Monday night, and I still hadn't gotten anything. So, in a week out, we would be in serious trouble because there's no telling what she would have started going after. Now,
those of you who aren't in IT, I don't need to have you open the email to find out you're fake. Those of you guys want to wager a guess as to why I don't need you to open the email? Because I'll know if you ever logged into the computer. Some of you guys right now going light bulbs going, oh crap. Yeah. In order to get into the government computer, you got to put in your password and your credentials to get to the email. Email just not popping up on the screen. This ain't AOL. You got mail. No. This is a government device. Or if you're even accessing it on the web, you're accessing a government portal. I already know if your username and password have been used. If any of you called tech support before, been locked out of your computer, you ever get something from, I don't know, Google that says, your computer...
Cancel.
I can't find anything playing right now.
Cancel.
Logged into my computer. How about if you get a new computer and you get a new browser and it says, hey, Barry, just want to let you know somebody just logged in. And so you may want to check your credentials and make sure you change your password just in case. Hey, you got to give me that Google code, and you got to do like 19 different things because they shut your crap down. You can't, you're sitting here on YouTube or Google, and it's like, what do I got to do? Oh, check your messages. Oh, is it you? You've gotten those messages, haven't you? Is it you trying to log in? Yes, it's me. I forgot my password. I entered it 3 times by mistake. It's me. All right, use this security code. Go to Google settings. Go in here. Give us the code, and then we'll let you access your stuff. Very verbose way of telling you they already know. You got to take steps backwards. So I know if I'm in IT working with Elon, if I'm Big Balls, I've already run the algorithm telling me all the people who have not logged into their computer for the last 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. And now I got a report. These people ain't even ever logged in. The computer, who knows if it even exists? They got all that information. Those of you complaining aren't the target. idiots. He is playing at a level these people can't even comprehend. Those of you in IT are sitting back, fools. Yeah, those of you who have worked at IT already know. They're like, dude, they already know who's been on the computer. They already know what emails. They already know what you did with the email. They even know how long you were on the email. They already know if you scroll down the page. What you're seeing play out is a huge game of chicken that Trump and Elon and Big Balls and the boys are playing. Everyone's chasing their tail. The media's talking about it, and they're literally one keystroke away from all the information they need. And bam. And the algorithm's going to run out there, and it's going to come back, and it's going to fetch all the people. Hope you understand that. You're watching a large game being played on in epic proportions, and nobody in the media seems to be talking about it, when you know every single one of those people have to do the same thing the government employees have to do. If you're on MSNBC, you just don't walk into the building, you gotta scan your badge. When you scan that badge, what the hell do you think happens? It gets logged somewhere. Then you go upstairs and you go to the elevator. Sometimes you need another scan to say that you made it to the 3rd floor. Oh, I forgot my badge. Okay, scan. All right. Now you're on the 3rd floor. Now you're at your desk. What do you got to do? You got to log in again. So I know now if I'm sitting at 18, okay, so Sally came in at 8:25. She made it to the 3rd floor lobby at 8:38. Then she went to her desk. I got you the whole way, boo-boo. I know everything you're doing. So you think you're, not doing things at home. The only difference is the people before didn't check. I already know what bank account your checks go to. Oh, that's right. I already did that with the Treasury Department, moron. I know where your checks are going. I know when you... Just follow the breadcrumbs. I only know the stuff that I know because I used to work with a guy who was in IT, and he used to tell me stuff, and I would like... So I might as well just put my password on the internet because it doesn't matter. We got no privacy. No, I want to go backdoor and thing, I'll go backdoor. These guys know everything. They know who's gotten what and where they are and what they're doing. Again, go watch the movie. The show, Person of Interest, The Machine. Did you see what Elon said about AI? I'll save that for tomorrow because it's way deep. You guys can begin looking it up right now. We'll talk about it tomorrow. He said AI is about to reach a term called singularity. That's going to scare the bejeebus out of some of you when you find out what singularity actually means. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Tommy Lawrence, direct deposit. What's that say? Direct deposit is how it's done. Most times, someone is definitely spending money of dead people. I like to make the 350-year-old getting Social Security payments. They see, that's just not Social Security. That person is in a system maybe 2 or 3 times. See, people haven't thought about that. That 360-year-old person, it's dead. So there's no person associated with those 220-year-old people. And since Wally the Nigerian was told to pay everything, that same Social Security number that's getting fake Social Security checks could be getting payroll checks. Light bulbs going off yet? Because you're like, wait a second. Yeah, if nobody's checking, I can use the same Social Security number to get however what I want. I know that this Social Security number is for a dead person. I directed it to my direct deposit. So I'm getting Social Security checks once a month or whatever, and I could be getting a payroll check. Let that sink in. If the average job is $100,000, then it's right about $9,000 a month, $7,000, $8,000. So I'm getting $8,000 a month payroll, and I'm getting Social Security, and I don't have to go to the office, and I don't even have to report what I'm doing. That's a job we'd all love. You just check. Did that deposit hit yet? I'm expecting about 12 grand this month, and I ain't seen it. Okay, here it is. It showed up. Because after a couple years, now you just expect it. You're not even looking. Now they all know, oh man, someone's looking. This Elon guy. This Elon guy. He keeps looking. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Social Security, payroll, food stamps, Medicaid. It's scary when you start thinking about it. When you start thinking like, oh my goodness, did they really do all this? You could. And and now that, you know, when you catch your child doing something wrong, they'll say anything. Oh, I didn't do it. It was broke already. And the cat ran by, and the cat and the dog were playing, and they knocked it. It's too late. Especially these days. Mom's got the security camera. And Robin wants to get one to see what these two dogs do when we're not home. Because they play a certain way when they're here, and then, you know, run through the house. Elon put this out at 7 o'clock tonight. First, Matt Walsh said, fire any federal worker who didn't answer the email. Fire any who complained publicly. Fire any who complained privately. Fire any who did anything but cheerily and promptly answer it. And then George said, I'm a little confused. Why did some agencies tell employees that responding was unnecessary or voluntary? I'll get into that in a second. And Elon said, subject to the discretion of the president, they will be given another chance. Failure to respond a second time will result in termination. That's the drop dead notice. That's the dead man switch. They know with all of the publicity at this point, if you're not answering, you're a thief. So George's question was, you know, why would some people say don't do it? Because the ones who have said you don't have to do it are pretty much cabinet situations that we already control. State Department said you don't have to do it. That's Marco Rubio. He already knows. His team has probably already went through it. And so they know. So the departments that already have people looking, they're like, hey, don't worry about it. We already got you. We already know what y'all did. It's for the rest of these idiots. And it's beginning to fall short with a lot of people in business. This is Jamie Dimon. I believe Jamie is Chase Bank. Jamie Dimon calls U.S. government inefficient and says Elon Musk's Doge effort needs to be done. Thank you, Jamie Dimon. You see, people who run businesses, like I was talking to Zeke, there's going to be these moments, these seminal moments when people sit back and go, I can't justify this crap. Good people who may not even be Trump supporters are like, oh man, this doesn't make any sense. I've been punching the clock since I was 16. What do we do? And on and on and on. And so now you've had 48 hours, and they're giving you another day to make sure you respond. The lawsuits will be frivolous at this point. And in my estimation, seeing other people talking about it, let's see here, Eric Doherty posted it too. This is what SB just sent me. Elon Musk says that subject to the discretion of the president, failure to respond a second time. Now they're toying with you like food. You're like a lion just tossing a little thing up in the air, just playing with my food at this point. There's nothing these people can do. Nothing. And certain people are definitely noticing. And it was also, as I mentioned in the earlier show, it was a trap. It was a trap door. And You would think at this point the people who are adversarial to Donald Trump would understand this dude. Don't look at the task here. If you look here, you're already dead meat. If you're focusing here, you're never going to see the shot hit your head. If you're looking at this, you better be looking elsewhere, because something else is going on. This isn't it. This is the booby trap that allows you to be found, so that when you walk a little bit further, you hit the tripwire. That's the one you didn't see. You're like, oh, I found it. I'm not going to blow up. That's what's happening. And they're layering it at this point. I mean, just layering it. And these people don't see it. I put it out so you can see it. Look. Here's my confirmation. The email request was utterly trivial. I don't give a crap about the email. As the standard for passing the test was to type some words and press send. Yet so many failed even that inane test, urged on in some cases by their managers. So now you know who the dirty managers are. Have you ever witnessed such incompetence and contempt for how your taxes are being spent? Makes old Twitter look good. Didn't think that was possible. And Matt Walsh had said, I had a low opinion of federal workers before, but now I've seen the meltdown and crying. They're expected to provide the faintest evidence that they actually accomplished anything with taxpayer-funded jobs we've given them. Donald Trump, with the help of Elon Musk, is setting traps all over the government, and they don't see it coming. It's like watching Rambo. You know, you're walking through the jungle and you click something and don't even see it coming. And so now they've sniffed out the managers. Hey, you ain't got to do that. How do I know? The lady on TV said that. He's not my manager. My manager's, oh, okay. Then your manager now needs to go. It's just compounding on itself. It just keeps getting worse and worse for them. Elon posted this. He's been really going at it. Those who ignored President Trump's executive order to return to work have now received over a month's warning. Starting this week, those who failed to return to office will also be placed on administrative leave. It's getting exhausting at this point because I feel like I'm watching a war game take place. I feel like we're seeing how generals map out wars. And unfortunately for the Democrats, they're working against a much better foe. And the Democrats don't have anybody looking out for them. You got some opportunist lawyers that are trying stuff. You got this: federal workers will now sue over the "what did you do" email because Norm Eisen and Civil Service Strong, the shadow organization stacked with Obama loyalists, is funding and organizing all of these lawsuits. They don't have enough money. No more U.S. aid coming. There's only so many lawsuits these people are going to be able to file. And when they're done filing and they're out of money, there ain't much they can do. Buck Sexton, who took Rush Limbaugh's place with Clay Travis, said this, because I can confirm sources within that the feeling among bureaucrats inside the intelligence community has gone from "we've been here before, we can handle Trump" to now saying, "oh poop, they're serious." They sold him short. They didn't realize what this guy was doing until it was way too late. They thought it would be no big deal. He'll take his time putting his cabinet together and yada, 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 yada. And he had it planned for years how he was going to attack them. I mean, they're going to write books about this. They will write books about how Trump planned to ensnare the Democrat Party. And it's worked. It's absolutely worked. They don't have any way out. Now here's a story. I can let you read it. I can't vocalize some of what was found. Federal employees, okay, you guys can see this. Federal employees at the NSA, the CIA, and DIA were caught engaging in a secret chat room in which they openly discussed that stuff. All while they were on the clock and being paid by U.S. taxpayers. What did I say earlier? They have everything that they can log in, they can see what you're doing. See, guys like Big Balls and Elon could log in to my computer if I was a government employee, probably could log in anyway, and they could put their hand over the camera and go, hey, how you doing? We're here. No, they're not doing it right now. But these guys were doing all this stuff. Pray for these people. These are some sick people. And now they've been caught doing this kind of stuff on the clock. What do you think else they probably caught these people with? I mean, think about it. And where's Chris Rufo? Okay, this is Chris Rufo. He was the one. And Chris Rufo is the guy who digs and digs. Exclusive. We have obtained logs. Logs. What's a log? From the NSA secret chat room in which the NSA, CIA, and DIA were all employees discussing all that stuff on government time. Pretty sure it's in the handbook you can't do that. The NSA maintains a chat system for the intelligence community called Interlink. The servers are supposed to be used for government work, but gender activists have hijacked at least 2 of the channels, which I can't read about, but you can read it right in front of you. One popular chat topic was that, which involves that, and yeah, you see why I can't even read it? That's how bad it got. And they're doing all this on government time. These employees discussed, you get the point. You can follow Christopher Rufo if you want to actually read the entire thread, but it's disgusting. And they were doing it while they were on government computers. Felt fine. Felt completely at ease doing this on government computers. What I've what I've told you for some time is, don't worry as much about what they're telling you as much as what they're not telling you. If they're willing and they can talk to us and say, here's what we found, you can imagine the stuff that they can't talk about. The kind of stuff that Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi are going to have to come knocking at the door. Hey, we saw some of this stuff in the chat room. You got to come with us. Remember, the stuff they're telling you isn't the stuff as bad as the stuff they're not telling you. What did President Trump say last week? We got stuff that is, quote, horrible and embarrassing. See, when I'm looking at stuff online and I'm looking at stories, I make sure to remember I've got copies of different things Trump has said, because he's a breadcrumb throwing dude. And I thought to myself, when he said we got some stuff that's horrible and embarrassing, I'm like, what is? I told you we did a show that night. I'm like, horrible and embarrassing, stealing money. Yeah, that's bad and embarrassing. That's horrible and embarrassing. These people are sickos. Absolute sickos. That's how we win.
And we'll be back later. Your boy Doug, good morning. Did we make it to February 25th? Yes, we did. Oh boy. Situations, man. You always got people listening down the hallway, listening to everything you say. Watch what you say. Caught this customer I'm talking to his wife, explaining to them what I found. And he down the hallway listening to me. And he come out the blue after the fact. I am not paying no tolls to go home. That's a fact.
It's Tuesday, February 26th.
But first, today the United Nations marked the 3rd anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine by doing the only thing the United Nations can do, passing a non-binding resolution asking Russia to please stop. Please. Take that, Putin. Interesting, though. Among the countries voting against the resolution were North Korea, Belarus, Russia, obviously, and the United States of America. They're saying Bruce. But I guess America doesn't want to set the precedent of opposing bloody land grabs. So green and landy. But hey, Century being the good guys in America, whatever. It's not the only thing Donald Trump is busy disrupting these days. As you know, the DOGE Project, the Department of Government Efficiency, headed up by the Nick Cannon of white people, Elon Musk, is in... It's in full effect, and it may surprise you. I, for one, happen to be, quite frankly, Doge curious. I'm actually somewhat Doge adjacent. So, Mr. President, if you would.
We have to solve the efficiency problem. We have to solve the fraud, waste, abuse, all the things that have gone into the government.
Yes! Now, if you had woken up from a coma and heard nothing else that this man had said for the last 10 years, you might think to yourself, I like this guy. I too believe government needs to be more efficient, to weed out waste, fraud, and abuse, and deliver the necessary services that Americans rely on more agilely. So what do we do first? Do we pour through the Inspector General's reports that have addressed these things? Utilize computerishness to excise redundancies in the system? Find ways to more efficiently deliver the government assistance so many Americans rely on? What's first?
Elon Musk and his DOGE team firing thousands of federal workers.
They're trying to cut 10% of the federal workforce, which is 200,000 jobs.
Oh! Have we determined if those are effective workers? Is it based on performance? Are you going in with a scalpel so that we don't hit any vessels and vital organs?
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
So, straight amputation, or just amputation. It's like we're treating public servants as some kind of underclass.
The DC creature is like an animal infested with ticks and parasites. Our money is lining these swamp creatures' pockets.
You know what you call someone who sucks up resources in return for nothing? You call them a parasite. And that is what the federal workforce has become.
These saboteurs, the dead-enders, the DEI undercover agents.
The fraudsters, liars, cheaters, globalists, and deep state bureaucrats are being sent packing.
Yeah! You! Guy who tests water for appropriate levels of fecal matter? What are we talking about? What? You know, this is a stark emotional whiplash from looking for efficiencies. But apparently our nation's civil service is now synonymous with waste, fraud, and abuse. And MAGA world is celebrating with maximum folksy.
The gravy train, for a lot of these folks, it's been on biscuit wheels, and it's about to run off the deadgum tracks, and it's about time.
First of all, there is no way you actually talk like that. No way. You're a congressman from Tennessee. You didn't spring fully formed out of a primordial cracker barrel. Oh, this here bureaucracy is a Chattanooga choo-choo to a crawfish boil on my flapjacks. I'm just stringing food words together like nonsense. Pew, pew. Other reactions were just creepy.
Doge is dishing out spankings like daddy daycare.
I don't remember the spanking scene from Daddy Daycare. Oh, you must mean the gay porn film Daddy Daycare. I get it, Jesse. I get it. You were watching the film that answers the question, what would happen if a bunch of dudes in a daycare? And it just stuck in your head. You know, I gotta tell you, I feel like you can make efficiency recommendations or cuts without necessarily demonizing people who are only carrying out Congress's wishes. But I feel like that. They don't. Here's Donald Trump's new director of the Offices of Management and Budget on his feelings about everyone who works for him.
We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. We want, when they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work.
Mission accomplished. Because these workers are the worst, a hive of scum and villainy. Star Wars reference. Mostly scum and villainy. Just not the workers you know.
Let me tell you a story about Chris. He's going to get doged. And this guy's not a DEI consultant. This guy's not a climate consultant. I finally found one person I knew that got doged, and it hit me in the heart. We just need to be a little bit less callous with the way, Harold, we talk about doging people.
Do you watch your f***ing show? Yes, you certainly want to be callous, like referring to someone losing their livelihood as being a child being spanked at daycare. But I guess that's just the price of efficiency. Doge is dropping force-guided bombs into the thermal exhaust port that is the Death Star of our bureaucracy. I f***ing love Star Wars. I just love the film. But Doge is Jedi-level shit, man.
The FDA is looking to rehire around 300 people. The Trump administration will reverse staffing cuts to the 9/11 Health Fund.
Hundreds of workers at the National Nuclear Security Administration fired, then nearly all rehired days later.
The Veterans Affairs Department reinstated terminated employees, and the USDA is rescinding termination letters sent to people working on the response to bird flu.
When I said you were criminal parasites, I obviously wasn't referring to, I have the bird flu. Come back to work. Please. But that's fine. Staffing is only part of the Doge mission. There's other crazy shit we can cut.
We don't need to be wasting money on ridiculous items like seeing how fast shrimp can run on treadmills.
$1.5 million to see the effect of yoga on goats.
$1 million to study Mexican ducks in their wetland facilities.
Studies on the effect of meditation on parents.
Nearly $1 million to study if cocaine makes Japanese quail more sexually promiscuous.
I'm going to go with yes on that last one. I feel that I, not a scientist, can very confidently state, pre-experiment, if you are a Japanese quail with an 8-ball, you are getting your cloaca sucked. Oh. I'm sorry. That may be the most favorite thing I've ever said on this show. No, Now, obviously, that list of programs, some of them are being presented to seem even more ridiculous, and some of those were completely invented out of thin air. But the point is, why are we spending money on things that seem obviously stupid? Even though a government-funded study on Gila monsters is how we ended up with Ozempic. By the way, quick pitch, weight gain also would be solved by Japanese quail cocaine. It's really the Star Wars of drugs, cocaine. No downsides. You'd be having your cloacas sucked in no time. All right, but even if this project of Doge is animated by malice for administrators and is seemingly rash and occasionally cutting off critical government functions out of haste, the savings alone will be worth it. On the Doge website, they posted $16 billion saved just in canceled contracts. Interesting, if true.
A closer look shows big problems. For example, Doge claimed axing a single immigration and customs contract saved $8 billion. Turns out that contract was worth a maximum of $8 million.
The Wall Street Journal estimates the actual amount saved at not $16 billion, but closer to $2.5.
Who amongst us hasn't lied about saying something is 16 when it's really 2.5 billion inches? That's not true either. See, it seems that Doge is struggling a bit to get its footing. From made-up claims about $50 million of taxpayer money going for Gazan condoms, to billions in Social Security payments to dead people, a claim that turned out to not be real, despite what you've heard.
We have millions and millions of people over 100 years old, because they're obviously fraudulent or incompetent. But if you take all of those millions of people off Social Security, all of a sudden we have a very powerful Social Security with people that are 80 and 70 and 90, but not 200 years old.
True. You can't argue with that if only it were happening. But it's not happening. We're not paying millions and millions of dead people's Social Security money. And even if there was a 200-year-old man walking around, he wouldn't need Social Security. He'd still be in Congress. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Cutting money shouldn't be this hard. I'm starting to think that we as a country don't understand where the real waste, fraud, and abuse in our system really is. Maybe the savings we gleaned from cutting VA nurses and iguana STD studies isn't where the real money is. Let me see if I can noodle. You know what? Let me join Doge. I'm going to see if I can noodle some ideas here. I want to get down some certain ideas. I want to do again. There we go. I got that. Let's see what I can do. This is my want to be an accountant starter kit. So I got it off of Amazon for $5,000. My accountant told me not to get it. So we're looking to save taxpayers some money. And I know, let me think. We got the studies that are done. How about we just take $3 billion in subsidies we give to oil and gas companies that already turn billions in profits? How long did that take? Oh, wait. How about we just close down the carriers on the hedge funds?
You have a message.
$1 billion a year. Oh, how about we stop the $2 trillion we've given to defense contractors to build a fighter jet that blows when everybody knows the next war is going to be fought with drones and blockchain, whatever that is. Holy shit! I can't believe it. I just saved us billions of dollars in 11 seconds. Just call me Big Balls. Right? I'm sorry, I'm being told that nickname is already taken. Well, can I get a Doge nickname? Well, disturbingly low-hanging balls, really? Oh, like you've never heard of how would you even know that? Oh, I'm sorry. But see, this is where the real money is. The real money, the money our free market-ish system uses to prop up corporate profit at the expense of the taxpayer. Pharmaceutical companies get everything from our government: tax breaks, research grants, patent extensions, worth billions of dollars. And what do we, the people, get for it? The highest drug prices in the Western Hemisphere. And for some reason, the possibility of an infection in our perineum. Why would you take a drug that would give you an infection in your perineum? And why are they telling us about it at dinner time? But you know what's so horrible about our system now, and the corruption that lays within it? We're so f***ing numb to it, we actually tout tiny cracks in that exploitation as victory.
President touting the first ever negotiations with pharmaceutical companies to lower the cost of 10 drugs.
And today, I'm proud to announce that Medicare has reached agreement with all manufacturers on all 10 drugs selected in the first round of negotiation.
Oh, can it be? The companies we subsidize with billions of dollars are allowing us the privilege to negotiate the price of 10 of their drugs? And 10 is all of them, right? It would be embarrassing if it was a small drop in the bucket and that the American people didn't expect that we should negotiate for all their f***ing drugs because we've already paid for it with our subsidies. Come on! I'll be going to the hospitals. What we do with pharmaceutical companies is like the worst Shark Tank deal in f***ing history. Well, we're asking for billions of dollars of your money. Oh, what do we get, 10% of your company? No. Do we get a discount? No. Well, what do we get? Have you checked your perineum? We live in the upside down, and don't blame the corporations. They are profit-seeking psychopaths that need the lowest wages and the cheapest raw materials to drive their highest profits. But why do we, the taxpayers, subsidize their psychopathy? That's the waste, fraud, and abuse in our system. That's it. That's what we should be going after. Not the fantastical, overgenerous terrorist condom allowances.
In another program, $50 million plus another $50 million for condoms for Hamas. You know about that? $100 million for condoms. Condoms. Does everybody know what a condom is?
You delivering this speech in an elementary school? Why wouldn't they know what condoms are? Look, capitalism is by definition exploitative. It's how it operates. That's fine. But then government's role should be to ease the negative effects on Americans of that exploitation, not subsidize that treachery with our money. We're getting f***ed at a Diddy party, and they're making us buy the baby oil. I want Doge to work. I want better efficiencies. I want to get rid of the alphabet agencies that don't do enough, make the Pentagon pass an audit. But we are doging in the wrong place if we want to really change the system. Companies like Walmart, McDonald's make billions of dollars subsidized profits, yet many of their hardworking employees need taxpayer-subsidized public assistance. Airlines get billions in bailouts that they use in stock buybacks and bonuses. But if you're on food assistance, you're not allowed to buy hot food with it. Because apparently heated entrees are for winners. We are subsidizing the very system that makes workers' lives harder in the first place. All in the name of freedom and liberty. But the greatest restriction of freedom in this country isn't DEI and pronoun pressure. It's poverty and struggle. And
Okay, guys, thanks for joining me today. I had to go into Marietta. That was from Marietta back home to get a Speed Queen drive. Not in the greatest of moods today. You know, I'm trying to, as you guys know, I'm trying to prepare for I'm supposed to be getting married. Man, I'm telling you, it's draining. The closer the date gets to getting married, and the more issues I'm faced with, and then things happen that are unforeseen. People you have to accommodate for that you didn't think that needed accommodating, but things happen, and then you have to accommodate them because of what happened to them. It's just a lot of issues are starting to get in my way. And then, I hate to say it, but sometimes I feel like I'm being leveraged on my own wedding. When it's supposed to be one of the most important days of my life. This will be the second time I'm getting married. But then it seems like I'm being leveraged, like either this or that. You know, either you do this or that. I have a lot of pride to get where I am today. I never asked anybody for nothing. I don't kiss ass. And I don't fucking bend or change for anybody. And I don't feel like just because you leverage something, you should have your way. To get your way to get me to do something. I don't do something unless I feel like it's the world deserve it. So if somebody comes to me after they fucked up, or if I tell them, hey, you're fucking up, and then they fuck up, and then they come to you and tell you to help them get out of the fuck up, don't expect me to help. No pun intended, but I'm this kind of guy, man. I try to live in a peaceful world. From the way I started poor, with nothing, and I scratched my way to where I'm at now. I don't have the most of everything, but I've created a peaceful and comfortable life all by myself. I've been through one marriage. I lost my oldest child. I lost my first wife, and I'm trying to start my life over again. But, you know, I don't kiss ass. That's the last thing I would do. And I have to kiss somebody's ass to get a happy life, then that's one ass that won't be getting kissed. I guess you guys who about as old as I am, 60 gang, you guys know exactly what I mean. At my age, I've got less than 30 years to go before I'm 100 years old. I don't have the time for the bullshit, you know. And I don't need no one telling me either this or that. I don't conform to nobody at my age right now. I live my life. I'd rather do it out. And I guess you guys who are my age can understand where I'm coming from. But anyway, enough of me talking about that. I wish you guys a great Tuesday. It is warming up, 55 degrees here in Atlanta. May y'all have a blessed day, get some fresh air, make sure you stand out, exercise, eat well. And this is your boy Doug 60 Gang, and I'm out.